Yo, 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 what's the crack, guys? It's the Minyon from AllCast Irish Gamers, and I'm back because it is the time for another Minyon's recipes. What's it gonna be? It's the Egyptian God deck. It's basically Dark Magician. So, here we are, guys, number 16, deck recipes. The Dark Magician himself is back, the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense, and basically the only deck you'll want to run with the Egyptian gods in it because of the amount of support Dark Magician has. So you got 3 copies of Dark Magician, you got 2 Apprentice Illusion Magicians. Now she's great because at the cost of a discard from your hand, she special summons, she adds a Dark Magician to your hand, and she's also a hand trap that gives a spellcaster 2000 extra attack points. She's just multi versatile, very good card. Gotta have her in there. Any more than 2 and you might end up with, a brick or 2, so just go with 2 for now. You gotta have 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl. It's just essential. It goes well with bond between teacher and student. Effect Veiler, one of your main hand traps, can save you so easily. It's just a quick effect during your opponent's main phase, and it just negates a monster effect on the field. Very useful, and it's also a tuner, so you can use it to go into your synchro play, and you can get out Borrowload Savage Dragon. So yeah, super card. Prisma is another one of your main cards. He's just Dark Magician basically. You summon him, you send a Dark Magician from your deck to the graveyard, or Dark Magician Girl, and you reveal the fusion monster, and then he takes its name. And then all of your cards that say Dark Magician can be used on Prisma. So bond between teacher and student, Dark Magic Attack, Timaeus, all of them can be used on Prisma. So essential card for this deck. Magician's Rod, another one of your staple cards. On its normal summon you get to add a spell or trap card that specifically lists Dark Magician in its card text, add it to your hand. The second part of its effect is useless, never do it. I always end up doing it, and I end up tributing a monster I don't want to tribute, just to add Magician's Rod back from the graveyard to your hand, so watch out for that. You're mainly going to use him for the search effect. He'll help you set up your combos, he'll get the missing piece you're needing, and he'll just help the deck flow just that bit better. Yeah, you gotta have him. It's a must have. Magician's Souls, another must have. Now you can have 3 if you want. I only own 2 in real life, which is why I only run 2. But he's just great. He's just a special summon for Dark Magician. Discard him from your deck, and then special summon him from the graveyard. Just super handy to have. You gotta have him in there. At least 2 copies is what I say. And now we're on to the god cards. The main man, Obelisk the Tormentor. So 3 tributes to normal summon him, and they can't activate cards when he's normal summoned. He's also just a 4000 attack and defense beat stick, which is always good, but he's just super easy to summon using the true name and the multiple cards you have in this deck that allow you to set the top card of your deck, and you know exactly what it is. So yeah, Obelisk, great card. Now I've also got Palladium Oracle Mahad in here for the simple fact that if you do stack a card on the top of your deck, you want it to be this guy, because then when you draw it, you reveal it, you special summon him, and you've got a 7-star 2/5 attack monster on the field. But he also floats into a Dark Magician on destruction, and if he battles a dark monster, his attack is doubled. So few uses there. You got your next god, Slifer the Sky Dragon. Very good floodgate if you can get him out on turn 1. But apart from that, he's mainly going to be summoned using the true name. This is another card to have on the field that's boosted up 1000 for each card you have in your hand, and any monster summoned by your opponent loses 2000 attack or defense, and if it goes to 0, it's destroyed. The Winged Dragon, my favourite of the god cards, if you didn't already know that. So when he's summoned, you can't be special summoned. You can be special summoned by Sphere Mode and other things, but general special summon he can't. But you're going to want to summon him with Sphere Mode just to keep your life points intact, and you can use that effect to pay 1000 life points to destroy a monster on the field. So just super good card. And of course 2 Sphere Mode, 1 in the extra deck. Sphere Mode, it's just brilliant. It's just very good, especially against meta decks, because they'll set up a board and negates. Sphere Mode will just get rid of them all and summon them to their field. Now you can also summon them to your field, because this deck special summons quite a bit, so you will have the tribute fodder. Get Sphere Mode on the field, tribute them, get the Winged Dragon now. The Winged Dragon will then have 4000 floating effect attack, so it can't be negated and return to 0. Bond between teacher and student, one of them. You only need one, but it's a super good card. It just screams advantage. So you use, say, Prisma, then you activate Bond between teacher and student, you get Dark Magician Girl on the field, and you get Dark Magic Attack from your deck. It's a plus. It's always going to be a plus so long as you have those cards in your deck. And from there, I mean, you're laughing. I mean, you've got advantage. You've got two great monsters on the field, and you can either go for a Tribute Summon or you can go for the attack. Dark Magic Attack, I've one in here, one in the extra deck, because it's your Harpy's Feather Duster, really. It just gets rid of that back row. Look at that. It even nailed a Mirror Force there. Just what a good card. So I can't stress it enough. Dark Magic Attack, Bond between teacher and student, two great cards you gotta have in here for your Dark Magician cards. We've got 3 Dark Magical Circle. Dark Magical Circle is another one that's going to let you stack the top of your deck, and it'll also let you add a card that lists the Dark Magician to your hand, or if it's the Dark Magician himself. But also when you special summon or normal summon a Dark Magician, you get to banish a card on the field. Now, you can't do it during the damage step, but it's great interruption if you do it on your opponent's like standby phase or main phase or something. You can really interrupt their plays and get rid of a monster they just summoned, so long as you can special summon during their turn. Monster Reborn, because why not? Reinforcements of the army. It's kind of a filler. I mean, your opponent's probably gonna like Ash it or something, but if they don't, you get Prisma to your hand and you can go into your fusion summons. Secrets of Dark Magic, another top card, very underrated, because it allows you to go into your fusion summons during the battle phase. So you attack with your monsters, and then just get that last bit of damage in there. You fusion summon, and you can even get Starving Venom out using it, because you're using Dark Magician as a material. It doesn't have to be a Dark Magician fusion monster, it just has to be a fusion monster using Dark Magician as material. Soul Servant, another top card for stacking your deck. You just place one card from your deck, hand or graveyard, on the top of your deck, and then you can go use the True Name, and you've got an Egyptian God card in the field and a +1. But you can also remove Soul Servant from the graveyard, and depending on how many Dark Magician Girl, or Palladium monsters you have in the graveyard, you get to draw. More often than not, it's only going to be 1 or 2, but if you can get all 3 in there, I mean, that's just major advantage. It's really good card. Gotta have that in there. I have 2 because I've only got 2, so if you want to go 3, go for it. Super Poly, because you've got Predaplant in your extra deck, and Super Poly is just so versatile. I mean, you can use your opponent's warrior monster with your Dark Magician, you can get Dark Cavalry out, or you can just go into Starving Venom. I mean, there's a lot of avenues for it. If you wanted to load your extra deck up with Super Poly targets, you can, but I've only got the 2 in there. It's your call, really. It really is. Timaeus, what a card. It's just a 1 card fusion monster for Dark Magician. You can use it on Prisma, you can use it on Dark Magician himself. It's just super good. And if you're running this deck, like in real life or on EDO, you can use it to get into Dragoon. I mean, it's just what a powerful card. Gotta have 2 of them in here. I'd even go so far as to have 3, which is why I've got an extra one on my side deck. 3 of the True Name, because it's basically just a free summon of an Egyptian God card, so long as you know what your next card is going to be, which you will, because there's a lot of cards in here that do that. You can't get the Winged Dragon on the field, you can get it to your hand, but you can get Obelisk or you can get Slifer on the field for 1 turn, and of course get your attack in, and then after the attack, I don't know, link him away or use him for a tribute summon or something. Like at the end of the day, it's still a special summon of a monster that you just don't want to waste, because he's going to go to the graveyard anyway. Tribute him, link summon him, get rid of him. Eternal Soul, one of the best cards in this deck. Just being able to special summon a Dark Magician on either turn, or add Dark Magic Attack from your deck to your hand. I mean, it's just a really powerful card, and we're using this with Dark Magic Circle. It's great for interruptions, because you can just link away your Dark Magician on your turn, end your turn, your opponent makes their move, you bring back the Dark Magician, and your Dark Magic Circle will banish a card in the field. The combos are just great. Magician Navigation, another really good card, because it'll allow you to special summon Dark Magician on your opponent's turn. You can also special summon Apprentice Illusion Magician, and there you go, you got 2 cards for the price of 1. And if you have Dark Magician on the field and this card is in your graveyard, not the turn it was sent there, you can banish it from the graveyard to negate a face-up spell or trap card. Now, you can do that as they activate the card, because the card has then become face-up. So, I mean, you could use it to stop a Red Eyes Fusion or something. It's really, really good. 1 copy of Dark Cavalry. He gains 100 attack and defense for each spell and trap card on the field in the graveyards, and if he attacks a monster in defense mode, it's piercing. And if a card tries to target him, you can discard a card to negate it. He's really, really good. He's a game ender, trust me. Now, next up, we've got Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. And he's another super poly target if you're running against someone with dragon cards. So you use your Dark Magician, you use their dragon, you get this guy in the field. His name becomes Dark Magician, and your opponent cannot target spell or trap cards you control with effects or destroy them. So he's a great way of keeping Eternal Soul on the field. Dark Paladin, well, he's an alright card. I mean, it's discard a card to destroy a magic card, or negate it and destroy it. And he also gets 500 for each dragon on the field. But obviously in real life you're going to go Dragoon over him. Predaplant Draco Stepelia, just a really, really good card. Always situational, of course, because you're relying on having a fusion monster and a dark monster. But he is a good super poly target, I have to say. Mainly for his negate effect. You got Starving Venom, because he's just a top target for super poly. You get rid of your opponent's 2 dark monsters, you get him on the field, and then if they destroy him, he gets to destroy all your opponent's special summon monsters. So just plus really. Dark Magicians, because they're just awesome. I mean, you get to draw a card every time a spell or trap card is activated, and if he's destroyed, you get to special summon Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician from your graveyard. It's just a brilliant card. Really good combo starter. If they do take him out, you get your 2 monsters back. I recommend it, I really, really do. And if you draw a spell or trap card for the card that you draw with his effect, you get to set it, and you can activate it that turn. So, like, trust me, that helps as well. I've actually used that and won games. Black Rose Dragon, because, I mean, you've got a free special summon with Apprentice Illusion Magician. You summon Effect Veiler, he's on the field. Borreload is a risky one, but it works. I mean, all it really is Dark Magician and Effect Veiler. But you've got to have your graveyard set up with some Link monsters first, or he won't get his negate effect. So, it does require a little bit of setup, but a good addition to the deck. Now, I do have 2 rank 8s in here, because all of your fusion monsters are rank 8. So, if you did want to go into Dingirsu, you can. The options are there. Same with Hope Harbinger. I mean, if you summoned 2 of your fusion monsters in 1 turn, you figure, you know what, I'll link them, or I'll rank them up, go into Hope Harbinger. The options are there, trust me. You just won't do it very often. You've also got Borrow Sword, very easy to go into because of Halku Fibrax, and he himself is a game winner. With his effect that he can change any card on the field to defense mode and get a second attack, you're just going to win so many games with him if the situation arises to use him. But he is quite situational. Happy Fibrax is a must. Just, 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner, you link into him, he special summons another tuner from your deck. You can easily, he's just great for link climbing, really, really is. So I can't stress that enough. You'll really want to go into him as quickly as possible. And in real life I use him to go into access code, but in this he's mainly going to be used for link climbing to get into Borrow Sword. Nightmare Phoenix for if you want to pop that back row. Yes, you have to discard a card for it, but sometimes that can be beneficial. Link Spider, because you can't really do much with the Dark Magician being a normal monster, so you gotta get rid of him to go into Link Spider, and then once you go into Link Spider, then you can go into Predaplant or someone else. So that's the main reason he's in there. And if you get Nibiru, you've got Link Spider. So yeah, it's not an awesome game breaking card, but it helps. So I definitely recommend having Link Spider in there. You could also maybe go with other cards, Relinquished Anima, but I went with Link Spider instead. Predaplant Verte Anaconda is a must have, just for the simple fact that it allows you to pop off with your super poly from the deck. It also changes a monster on the field to dark, so you can use them and Predator Plant, and he doesn't get stuck on the field. Just what a card. And side deck is all your call. Now, I've gone for another Palladium monster, an extra copy of Prisma, extra copy of Winged Dragon of Ross Fear Mode. You might end up wanting to throw 3 in, depending on what decks you're against, so sometimes I just don't like to be without the third copy. Caught by the Grave, got a Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm is just phenomenal, especially against like Pendulum decks. You're going second. You're taking out 3 cards for the price of 1. What a card, but it can become dead in your hand if you end up having to go first, so remember that. Pot of Avarice, because you will load your graveyard up really quickly, especially with Fusion and Links. Sometimes it's good just to put them back, you know. More copies of other cards. Now I do have 3 of the Monarch Stormfort in here. Now in real life, obviously you're going to use something like Soul Crossing, which just came out in the recent structure decks, but just having that ability to tribute your opponent's monster and, you know, get that kaiju effect off, you gotta have it in here for Link Evolution. And then another copy of Eternal Souls and Magician's Navigation. So this is what I thought was a good deck for the God cards. Try it out, let me know what you think, and if you make any changes to it, and if you have any ideas for decks in the future, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.